Welcome to today's live stream, everybody. We are playing Madden 20 and finalizing things here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's been a great rebuild series. I thank all of you for your support over the 142 episodes now that we've gone through. There are days worth of content in this series. So many great journeys, brand new stars to the channel, and so many great stories and successes. We're going to wrap things up today by doing a long-term simulation. It won't be as long as the one with the Cardinals series because I just got further in this one. We're actually in year 2042, and the franchise mode is capped at 30 seasons. I don't know why it's capped at all, or why it's only 30. If they're going to cap it, I'd say make it 50 or 60. But we're taking this until we can't sim any longer. So what would that check out to be? 2049? And then we will see where things end up. But the whole goal today is to finish the story. We have so many players here who have partial stories that we want to see end. Players like Ellis Norton, who in the back half of the series became a true star and one of the greatest success stories that really came out of nowhere after he was a 6th round pick and didn't really do a whole lot as a rookie. And now you see 9 Pro Bowls, 6 times he's had the rushing title. He's piled up the awards, and he was the last pick in the 6th round. Now, not everybody will get a true conclusion to their story. Players like Daryl Kincaid here were drafted in the second to last offseason. There's no way he's going to retire, but we'll see more of his career play out. We'll just get as far as we can. But as we start here and begin what's going to be a long-term sim, here's where all the ratings are at. And remember, we're coming off 2 9-7 campaigns. So I'm very interested in if what I did to the team helps them get ready for the future, and if they're able to win success after I no longer have control. So we have Barry Roy, Donnell McQueen as 2 of our top playmakers, Ellis Norton, Jeffrey Kitchen, of course. And defensively, we're trying to build something here around Brandon Hurst. We have Staley at end. We picked up Anthony Banks in the offseason to bring in some much needed star power. Randy Dorsett at linebacker. But ultimately, the CPU is going to do whatever it wants here. I'm no longer controlling the team as we set sail here with our final simulation. I will be making all this stuff automatic, and we'll go through each year individually and check out the growth of the team, the record books, all the stuff so that we can get this all wrapped up. So just making sure all this stuff is on that needs to be, and we'll get started here. The last thing I wanted to do is just set the roster here, essentially. Set the depth chart. So we're here in the 2042 preseason. I have only a 55-man roster. Did I switch the middle linebacker to tight end? You know what? I don't remember if I did. Was it Chris Matthews? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, Matthews had the good catching, right? 74. Yeah, his ratings were just low. I think that you could pull it off if it were like a multi-year project and you would get those blocking ratings up and the route runnings a little bit. But it's not necessary right now. So let's just maybe sign a few free agents before we get into the simulating here. Top players available. Let's see. Where are the holes on the roster that we could add to? So we have Jeffrey Kitchen. I might sign another quarterback for the team, another backup. That'd be smart. I think we'll keep the running back situation the way it is, the receiver situation as well. I think that I don't want center to get messed up here, so I might move a player to center, just so they don't sign somebody and then play them like what happened last year. I gotta check the roster. But once we get this stuff set, the simulating won't take, we'll be jumping from one sim to the next, essentially. Yeah, we have no centers on the roster, no left guards on the roster. What's the awareness here for Rod Simmons? 78 is solid. He's not a scheme fit here at guard, so I think we can move him to center and have him develop there. I wonder if that would have made him a scheme fit. No, that's okay. Yeah, I think the football season is going to happen. I mean, the NBA bubble has gone pretty well. But the MLB, with, you know, travel involved, they had some issues in the beginning, but it seems like they have protocols in place and they know what they're doing. Football is obviously a little bit tougher because there's just so many more people involved, but I'm a lot more optimistic now than I was even a few weeks ago. Valentine, Simmons, that's fine, and then bonus experience here. Yeah, Tremaine Dunn, that works for me. I think the Saints can go pretty far. I'm just worried, you know, how much longer will they be able to get decent enough play from Drew Brees? I think last year at the end of the year, we saw his arm strength is definitely not where it once was. And not that, you know, it has to be elite, especially with the playmakers on the team. Now they got Michael Thomas, Kamara, and Manny Sanders. I mean, those are all players who can feast underneath. But I think you still need some element of threat downfield, or teams can start to limit that effectiveness. Although it hasn't worked to this point, so I think Taysom Hill is actually very important to that team, to force defenses to respect things that they otherwise wouldn't. So when Hill's out there, I think anything's a possibility. And they use him, they don't just use him on first downs to like, okay, let's try to get a big play. They use him in so many key situations. He gets red zone snaps. He threw a deep ball to, I forget his name. Their speedy kick returner who's like really, really freaking fast. Deontay Harris. He threw a deep ball to him in the playoff game against the Vikings. It was their biggest play of the day, one of them. So I think that's really important to the team, actually having Taysom Hill. And I wonder if we could see even more of him this year. Yeah, Deontay Harris, he might already be second or third best kick returner, up there with like Cordero. All right, let's go sign a backup quarterback just in case Kitchens get hurt. Let's go look for awareness. Yep, this works for me here. Buck Parker from K-State. He will be our backup quarterback this year. Solid backup QB ratings. Jamal Agnew is really good, yep. All right, I think from there we'll just sim it out now. Just want to sim to the regular season quick. Gonna miss seeing the Bucs in my feed. Yeah, I mean, ending a series, I think most of you can tell, it's not my favorite thing to do. Really enjoyed this series, Kane. Thank you for all your hard work. Go Broncos. I appreciate that. Thank you, 308, for the super chat. It has been a tremendous series. And the Broncos are still going. I'm really enjoying the games there. I mean, I love the slider set that Matt and I worked on together. And I think I'll be able to play that for a long time yet. Do I think the Eagles are going to try to use Hurts in a Taysom Hill kind of way? I would think so, partially because they took him as early as they did. They took him in the second round. I gotta think that they did that knowing that he's a backup quarterback at worst and a role player on day one that can make an immediate impact. I think teams should look to do that a lot more often. I mean, in the last 10 years, you know, we saw the Wildcat try it out. And then we saw some teams give packages a thought, but no one's done it on the level of the Saints with Taysom Hill. So I think as teams understand, I think as offense has developed and teams understand how to use these role-playing quarterbacks, they'll figure out more and more ways to make them part of the regular offense. So here's where we're at starting week 1 of today's simulation. And we'll see if we're able to go far this year. Let's have McCarthy start here at guard. Let's see, it looks like it messed up a lot of my stuff already here. I wonder if there was an injury. But defensively, here's where we're at. I want to see Anthony Banks hopefully have a big year. I mean, that was my last big signing. One of the highest rated free agents I've signed in the entire series. I just really hope it pays off. Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't watch football a lot in the 90s, so I don't remember Cordell Stewart a lot. I remember playing with him on like Madden 2001, but I don't remember what they were doing with him specifically. Yes, we want Rod Simmons starting, of course. We also want to get Tavares Springs some playing time. Brian Lippett at left tackle. We'll keep Pearson here at right. Lionel McCarthy. Yeah, we'll swap out McCarthy here for George Brewer. And that should take care of that. Is Josh Rosen a career backup at this point? I think that's likely the case right now. I mean, I was excited when he went to Miami. I liked him in the draft process as well, but it just hasn't worked out on multiple teams, and we haven't really seen a whole lot of growth there, so unfortunately, perhaps. Leslie Anderson broke his thumb in preseason, so he will miss the first couple games. I'm not going to make a corresponding roster move. Instead, Dudley Towns could get some carries, or we could go to Dominique Barr. We also have Kerry Reese, the rookie. So who do we play here? Let's go with Reese. I just drafted him. I simmed the preseason. I didn't even set the final roster. Do we really have 5 running backs on the team? I mean, the game must know me pretty well, but no, I don't actually want 5 running backs on the team. 4 is plenty, usually. The main thing here is I just want to make sure the depth chart is still, like, set the way it needs to be. Let me sign a pass rusher quick. We'll bring back Michael Horn for this year, as we have a roster spot opened up now. I want to make sure these are all set up correctly. McQueen in the slot. We have Norton at third down and power back. Dorsett and Daniels. Dunn, Banks, Dean, Staley. This is all set up the way I want it to be. All right. I am basically retiring now as GM and coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see where this team goes, starting here in the year 2042. We'll start by simming the mid-season. Do I remember the $60 man? Oh, I forget what that was all about. I remember that happening. Refresh my memory on the $60 man. Oh. I can't remember. Yep, I sent all the GM stuff to Otto and the progressing players and everything else. I want to make sure here that Kincaid's still getting his snaps. And then we'll just sim to mid-season again. McQueen, Kincaid, and then... Sure, Colombo I think has earned some more opportunity. Oh, there's a breakout chance this week. Donnell McQueen wants to go to X Factor. Okay, we'll see if he can do it against Philly. Do I think Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer? I personally don't. But, I think he's like a Ring of Honor player. I just don't think his regular season legacy is strong enough. I mean, he has a great postseason legacy and the volume stats built up over years. But I would have him out personally. You did not call the right plays for me, so McQueen is not happy about that. Right now we're 4-2, by the way. I just want to sim to mid-season, and then we'll see where the Bucs are. But it looks like a pretty good start so far. Oh yeah, you gave linebacker Deontay Wallace a $60 million contract in the Cardinals series, and he picked off a pass, and you called him the $60 man by accident. Forgot a few zeros there, I guess. All right, we've simmed to mid-season here in 2042, and the Buccaneers are out to a 5-3 start, which isn't bad, but the division, the Saints and Panthers, are out to a great start, each with 6 victories already. We are coming off a win over the Saints and have another one coming up, but it looks like the road to the postseason is going to be a tough one for Tampa. We do have a number 1 offense to this point, though, so it seems like we might be reaching that ceiling that we were missing the last couple years. 19 touchdowns halfway through the year is really good for Jeffrey Kitchen. Ellis Norton is still putting up massive yardage numbers and 6 touchdowns. And Donnell McQueen, I mean, no one is even close to him in terms of production to this point. Also, how is the situation with Banks working out? 4 sacks so far, 29 tackles. Him and Dean are a pretty solid duo here, it would appear. And Rodney Staley, he's taking a step forward, and hopefully we can see him get to star dev. That's another thing we'll be checking out here in the sim, is players' developments changing on a year-to-year basis. All right, from there we'll sim to the postseason. Yep, this is the very first year of the long-term sim. We're only halfway through the first year, and I think I have 8 or 9 years to go through. Who do I think will be the best rookie receiver next season? That's tough. As far as just like overall production goes, I think if you had to ask me right now who is going to lead the rookies in receiving yards, I think it's going to be Jalen Reagor from Philly, because I think he has a chance to break out as that team's number 1 wide receiver this year. I think there's going to be a lot of competition there when you look at Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, although there's so much competition already there. But I would give Jalen Reagor the edge right now. Glad you can make it, Isaiah. Glad you can make it to the stream. Justin reminds me of Michael Thomas. Yeah, I think he'll be in that same role. I mean, the whole time I kept thinking they were going to try replacing Diggs with somebody who would play on the perimeter and stretch the field. And I'm not sure, maybe Jefferson can do those things. But I always thought that they would go for someone like T. Higgins or Michael Pittman. And I never thought about they'll just have Thielen maybe take over for Diggs' role and have someone else take over the slot. And that's what Jefferson fits so well after last year anyway. Kane, how's it going? It's a good day. Thank you, Robert, for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. All right, we are through the 2042 regular season. And how about a three-way tie here atop the NFC North? But it looks like we got the edge. We are actually the top seed in the NFC. That's amazing. What is our division record this year? 5-1. So we had to have swept one of those 11-win teams. Could have potentially swept both, but the answer lies within the schedule. Let's check that out. So the Panthers and Saints tied us. We end up with our best season in years. We lost to the Panthers. Okay. So we just won a tiebreaker against them. We swept the Saints. Let's go through some numbers now. Did I say NFC North? I meant NFC West. Love the series. Hoping for a Jets rebuild next. Thank you, Babs. So this year, we end up with the number 2 offense and the number 10 defense. I think this is the year we were waiting for. Jeffrey Kitchen gave us 37 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. So the last couple years, I was very critical because I thought he could do better. Well, here's the proof of that. Yardage, up. Touchdowns, up. Touchdown to interception ratio is up. Yards per attempt, way up from last year. Last year was just kind of weird, I guess, for us. Rushing, Ellis Norton, 1,300 yards. I imagine that is another rushing title for hopefully a future Hall of Famer. Receiving, Donnell McQueen. How about these numbers for Sim? 1,348 yards and 14 touchdowns. He just took the football all season long. Usually we have like our number 1 and number 2 being somewhat close. They're separated by 604 yards. McQueen just went off. Kincaid had a solid year. Roy had a solid year, but this was the year of Donnell McQueen. And that's the year we never got from Jamal Clancy. That's what I was hoping for eventually. Rodney Staley and Casey Dean, 11.5 each, or 11.5 at least. Anthony Banks, 7.5 with 14 tackles for loss. We like that. The INTs, not a ton of them, and most of them went to our linebackers, with Randy Dorsett getting 3 of them. So that is really, really impressive. I do want to check out how Clancy has been doing, though, with Philly. Obviously, he had a pretty good year last season. And this year, he puts up Jamal Clancy numbers. I mean, not a lot of touchdowns. Decent yardage. One of his better seasons for sure. The yards per reception, career high. Clancy was never a bust. I just wanted someone to take it to that next level. And we found that player. I feel like a Vikings franchise would be really fun, although it would be a hard team to sim because Madden hates them. That's true, the Vikings just get no love in the simulating. Thank you, Nith, for the super chat. The Vikings would be fun. I've just done multiple projects with them is all. Kane, who do you watch in terms of content on YouTube? I don't watch a lot of YouTube content. I watch mostly Twitch. So I have a lot of guys that I follow there. Like, I watch a lot of the Warzone Call of Duty guys. I was watching them a lot a few months ago and just kept on watching them. But from time to time, I'll throw on, like, I watched a couple of C4's videos the other day, or I'll watch what Bengal's up to. Not the expert sometimes. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, though. I don't do it regularly. I probably watch more cooking videos on YouTube than anything else. The Packers also get no love in Sim. Bears, Browns, and Bengals get too much love. I've never noticed the Packers not getting love, but I have noticed those other three getting quite a bit. Any other teams to watch here? Chef Kane? I'm no chef, but I've had to get a little bit better. I've done a lot more cooking since the pandemic really started. I've had more of an interest in cooking over the years, and I think that these were the, this was the environment where I'm like, all right, I want to get a little bit better at a few things. And I think I can hold my own in the kitchen, honestly. Although I make very simple stuff. What are my best recipes? I mean, I think I make pretty good pasta sauce. I think that's one of the better things I can handle is pasta sauce. And I think I figured out a good burger technique for me as well. Chicken wings. I have watched a lot of Gordon Ramsay. Favorite mac and cheese? Definitely homemade, but I mean, like, you know, the classic Kraft mac and cheese is always a good, like, emergency meal when there's nothing else left in the house or anything. Make a mean glass of water? Same here. Do I like being in Texas? I do. I like it here a lot. Favorite taco place? I mean, there are some, like, Tex-Mex places near me that I really like to go to. As far as, like, places that are more national, probably Chipotle. But it depends what I'm really looking for. Like, to me, Chipotle is the place I like to go to if I just want, like, to eat out, but I don't necessarily want to eat, like, a bunch of trash. Because, Chipotle, you know, it doesn't really tire me out or anything like that. And then, you know, if you're really feeling snacky, there's always Taco Bell. And, you know, back in Minnesota, I really liked, if any of you are familiar with Taco John's, I liked them as like a quick fast food taco joint. Now I want a Cooking with Kane series. Appreciate it, Pee-wee. Have I had any steak since I've been here? Not from anywhere in particular. I've made steak. No, the hurricane. I know a lot of people have asked me about the hurricane. I'm not affected. Not affected by the hurricane. I'm far away from the coast or anything. It's been sunny and 100 degrees like every day. But I appreciate y'all looking out. Texas brisket is probably the best thing I've eaten in Texas. I mean, it is next level. It is unbelievable. The closest major college football team to me are the Longhorns. Hello from Houston. Yeah, it's always hot. It is, but y'all gotta deal with humidity. I really don't. Not what I consider to be humid anyway. Thing you missed most about Minnesota? Probably just like family and familiarity. Like, I'm still getting to know the area around here, whereas I had, you know, 26 years of getting to know the area up there, and just starting over is always a challenge. Mowing in Texas, heat sucks. Can't wait till fall. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take long before you're dripping sweat. So, You got to figure out some strategies here. You can't just wait for a cool day, because like it's literally sunny and hot like almost every day, nearly every day. Missed the snow yet? Not one bit. Why did I move to Texas? Because I wanted somewhere that I thought would fit, my desired lifestyle better, and the weather was a huge factor there. Like the weather in Minnesota just kept me so miserable for like half the year, and I've always thought it would be nice to live somewhere warmer. And then like 5-6 years ago, I started to take it more seriously, and made it happen. Wait till the sun is setting to mow. Yeah, I mean, that's one of your better bets. The mornings are also super nice, depending on when you can start making noise in the morning. It's weird though, because like I was always used to, in the summertime especially, mornings or at sunset, like it gets cool. And I think, any day in like Minnesota, for instance, you could wear like a sweatshirt or something a little bit heavier when that happens, because it does get cooler. Whereas here, when it gets cooler, it's not getting below like 75. It's so weird to me. Still getting used to that, where I'm not going to see anything below the 70s for months. Am I a Cowboy fan now? Not quite. Not quite there. What did I do with all my snow clothes? I donated a lot of my heavier stuff before I moved, because I knew I wouldn't need a lot of it. But I had one pair of boots that I would wear for like snow blowing and stuff like that, and I just wore them until they fell apart, literally, and then I threw them out. They were garbage. But I didn't have a lot of winter clothes in general. Nope, I was not affected by the hurricane. Will I be doing more PGA videos? Was rather enjoyable. There's a good chance of that. I've been loving the game. All right, we'll do some more conversing. I think people want to get to the simming a little bit more here, pick it up. For league leaders, here's what happened this year. Joey Hunter. We don't know a lot about Joey here, but he just destroyed everybody in yardage. And we're noticing an interesting trend here at the quarterback position in this series. And it's with like the late blooming quarterback, that late developer. Talking about guys like Chris Stewart, who's now an X Factor. He might not go anywhere overall wise as a result, but he has it, and he's putting up big numbers. And then you have DeMarcus Wake, another player who did not start right away in his career. How long did it take for DeMarcus to get his chance? 3 years. Not as long as some quarterbacks have to wait. But there is Maxwell Burbank, who's now an 81. And he didn't start until year 6. So really interesting that the top quarterback producers are not like all super high drafted guys that were meant to start right away and start for the next decade plus. There are some, of course, but it's just an interesting trend right now. For rushing, Ellis Norton gets another rushing title. Only a handful of 1,000-yard rushers this season. Brendan Galloway almost became one of them. For receiving, Donnell McQueen, the receiving title. What a season. Although DJ Bridge, pay attention to this, only 657 snaps. That is pretty impressive. He did not play as much, anywhere near as much as like McQueen, Hankins, or Jeffries, and he still put up that kind of production. Defensively, let's see. Warren Young, 14.5. Chauncey Hull, 13.5. There are your defensive leaders. DeMarcus Mosley, 7 interceptions. I'm sure he'll be getting 2-star dev. Did McQueen get the triple crown? Let's check that. Oh, you're not a member here, Zackler, because I'm on the second channel right now. I don't have channel membership set up over here. By the way, if you didn't check it out, the channel member live stream will be this Sunday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time on the main channel. Ints don't cause upgrades, that's right. Mostly tackles and deflections, I think it cares about, which is weird. If we check out Donnell McQueen here, we do see he was the Triple Crown winner. Undisputed Triple Crown champion at wide receiver. Over 100 catches, 14 touchdowns. He led all categories. There we go. And the development increasing there, not accounting for interceptions. That's something EA could have easily adjusted in an update. Those are the kinds of things that have just remained stagnant. It's not even just the lack of big features. It's like not even improving what is there. Like, that's just a no-brainer to me. All right, the playoffs are getting underway, everybody. Bucs and Saints. Can we see us return to the Super Bowl? The journey starts here. Who do I think will be the best rookie running back? I think Jonathan Taylor. Although I think that others have a chance to do a lot more in the passing game. I just think Taylor, first of all, I like Taylor. Second of all, that line, no other rookie is getting that kind of line with that kind of opportunity. So I think he's going to be in very good shape to lead rookies in rushing. We win our first playoff game, again defeating New Orleans, third time this year. It is a 3-point win. We did not see a lot of offensive production in this game, but what stands out here, everybody? That right there. 8 sacks on Clayton Cole. So this could be a defining game here for our defense. I want to know who got that production. Markel Daniels, 3. How much do we blitz now? I'm surprised Banks only had half. I thought maybe he'd have like 4 and help justify that big contract. But we still get the win. The Saints also had a missed field goal in a 3-point game. Oh yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he's going to have maybe even a better chance than Jonathan Taylor. I wasn't actually thinking of him when that was asked. I was thinking of DeAndre Swift primarily. But Edwards-Helaire was my favorite running back in the draft, and he ended up on KC. And Damian Williams is opting out this year. Like, he's got so much opportunity. The problem is, though, in fantasy, he's going so early that he's not even a value anymore. Yeah, Banks is more of a run stopper, and I think that we're seeing that. Tampa wins the NFC Championship 35-28, now in higher scoring fashion. Kitchen 5 touchdowns. Brendan Galloway scored against us, but could not get the Cardinals a win because Donnell McQueen, 4 touchdowns in the postseason game. Wow. What a time for the 4 touchdown performance, everybody. The Bucs are going back to the Super Bowl. I think that we can go do a little super sim. Let me check awards quick. Oh, you can check the Pro Bowl before the Pro Bowl? Or it is the Pro Bowl week, never mind. Forgot to check on these yearly awards, by the way, but Joey Hunter is the MVP. And for the NFC awards, Maxwell Burbank adds to his trophy case. DeMarcus Mosley for the Panthers. Roy Holt is Rookie of the Year. I was going to draft him, and if that happened, he would have had no shot of winning Rookie of the Year. So maybe he's better off here with the 49ers. Defensively, it's LaMarcus Terry. Jeffrey Kitchen was named best quarterback, but still didn't win MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. Tay Randolph over Ellis Norton. I don't know how they come to that conclusion. Donnell McQueen, no question there. But I think we got to get to this Super Bowl. The All-Florida Super Bowl. Oh yeah, I got to check development next week too. I had my fantasy draft the night Damian Williams opted out. I was sitting there like, oh boy, I can get him in the 4th round probably. He was taken 1 pick before me. You got lucky there. I ran a couple best ball drafts last night, which best ball has become like my favorite fantasy, or like my favorite season-long format for fantasy football. If you're not familiar with best ball, what it is you draft a fantasy team, but you don't set your lineup and you don't make trades or waiver wire additions. Basically, you'll have a full team, and every week, your top scoring quarterback is your quarterback for that week. Your top 2 running backs, your top 3 receivers, your top tight end, and then a flex. So you have to build a team that can score the most points, knowing you're not going to be able to make any transactions, no bye week, signings, nothing like that. You have to strategize. It's all done in the draft. And in doing those, I found a couple values I liked a lot. I'd recommend late, when you're just drafting bench players, go get Devontae Freeman. Because I think he's going to be signed probably by the first team that suffers a major injury. But I think that wherever he ends up, he's got a chance to really bank on value. He's a good running back. And he shouldn't be a free agent, and I imagine he'll be signed before too long. In the past 2 years in fantasy, I've got Lamar and Mahomes in waivers. Wow. I drafted Lamar in my season-long last year, my only season-long league. I won, by the way. Someone wanted to see Roy Holt's development. Roy Holt has star development. I wonder what he did as a rookie. I guess he got a lot of playing time. He won Rookie of the Year, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I don't do Dynasty, but I think that if I had to start a new league or something, I'd want it to be Dynasty format. I think that's just a really cool structure. Yep, we'll check out career stats when we're done too, in case of retirements. So we might watch some of this game, but I plan on super simming most of it. I'm not sure why Mutt Squads isn't working, but if you're playing on Madden 21, I mean, there's always like server issues and problems when games are brand new. I think a lot of people have had connection issues or whatever on Madden. I'm not sure about today, but I know over the past few, for sure. Oh, I should check McQueen's development. You're right. He's probably X Factor now. I'm not really familiar with UFC or anything MMA, so I don't think I'd be the person to play that game. It's also not very team focused or like team building oriented, so it's really outside of what I like from sports games. Here we are, everybody. We're back in the Super Bowl. After 2 years of kind of mediocre play, I was hoping that I had finally put together the roster that would see this team go back to the top of the league. Well, at least this year we're going to be, a Super Bowl loser at the worst. But the team is right back on track, I feel. But boy, it'd be nice to add at least one more Lombardi to the trophy case today. We have 5 rings in this series so far. What do I think 2K's cooking up? I think something that could be compared to Street or The Yard. I think it's going to be heavily online focused with like team play elements. But I'm not sure. Who is my favorite defensive player of all time? Mine is Troy Polamalu. Favorite defensive player of all time? That's a good question, because usually when I answer the favorite football player question, it's like Randy Moss. But favorite defensive football player, I might have to go with Antoine Winfield. I always loved his style. Alan Page for me, that's a great choice. I haven't seen anything on 2K21's Park or anything, no. They dropped the ball with my league. Yeah, what's up with 2K? I feel like their reputation or whatever on the game is going down the last year. All right, so we're here in the Super Bowl, everybody, and we will see. Maybe if we get a chance to jump into the gameplay. Want to get some progress here as LaCambrick Massey does get us the INT. We take over. Ellis Norton, gain of 2. Then he gets 4. And then we stall. Can't get anything after the interception. We pin Jacksonville deep in their own territory. And they get a first down. 12 yards to Arthur Jeffries. A penalty. And the drop. Another failed possession. Could this be a much lower scoring Super Bowl? So far, it's kind of looking like that. A scoreless first quarter is now done. 22 yards there on 3rd and 9. Jacksonville's in business now. It's 3rd down and again incomplete. A penalty. No. But a missed field goal. It got blocked. No one's scoring here in the Super Bowl. All right. We go 3 and out. Second opportunity just wasted. Will this be a video? Absolutely. 25 yards. Uh-oh, 14. They're back in range now. I wanted to see how long this could stay scoreless. Come on, miss it. Miss it. Nope. 3-0 Jacksonville. Let's watch a drive. How's the game audio, by the way? Let me know if it needs to be quieter or louder. But we're going to pick things up here with Tampa. Leslie Anderson's getting a lot of playing time. I'm noticing here as we jump in with the Bucs that Leslie Anderson's been getting a lot of snaps. I'm not sure where Norton is, but here's a first down catch across the 40 for Sylvester Colombo. Kitchen back to the air, getting this out quickly for a short gain to Colombo. Only 48 yards on 10 attempts. Come on, Jeffrey. We got here with the big plays from Donnell McQueen. Let's try to get some of those now. Time on 2nd down. That ran out quickly. Not much there. I got to check the injury report, though. I want to know where Norton is. Yeah, we are in the long sim, but we made it to the Super Bowl. So I wanted to watch at least part of the Super Bowl. So Norton's not hurt. Did the game like reshuffle my depth chart or something? Norton's the starter there. And for 3rd down back, yeah, I don't know why it does that sometimes. It messed with my depth chart. So I guess that will be the last thing I do, perhaps, as coach/GM. Making sure Ellis Norton is playing in the Super Bowl. All right, 3rd and 7 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Here is Jeffrey Kitchen again dumping off to Norton, and he is stopped. Really lackluster offense in this first half. Nothing to show for their efforts here. The Bucs are shut out. We're on to the second half now. Hopefully the defense keeps this really low scoring. Staley picks up a sack. And then Tremaine Dunn follows it up. Come on, we got to get some points here. 9 to McQueen. First down, Galloway. 8 yards, Norton. 4 more. We got a shot here, everybody. Touchdown, Norton. There we go. 7-3. Now protected. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed a whole lot. I mean, we're still in the first year of this simulation, but we put together an awesome year and made it to the Super Bowl, so we are obviously in it now. Jacksonville is answering here, 26 yards to Arthur Jeffries. They're back in field goal range. They're 1 for 2 on the day. There's a sack for Anthony Banks. And they convert on 3rd and 9, unfortunately. Into the red zone. First red zone trip for Jacksonville. Driving to the 2, and they cap it off with a Bowens touchdown. It's 10-7. We may watch part of the 4th quarter. 12 yards to Sylvester Colombo as we try to get this game tied up at least. 22 to Barry Roy, converting a 3rd down and long. We're on to the 4th now. 9 to Colombo, then 7 McQueen, 13 more. The rhythm is established, and we have a Colombo touchdown to go up 4 points. Can we just get a stop now? We gotta get the stop. Daniels knocks away a pass. 7 to Robertson. 8 more to Bowens. Sacked by Casey Dean, and sacked again by Casey Dean. Take him out of field goal range. We lost 10 right away. Why don't we watch some of this 4th quarter here? It might be the last game we actually watch in this series. But it's 14-10 Tampa. Let's run some clock and build this lead up. A fake from Kitchen. Down the middle, wide open for a 1st down. We need more of that. What a season, though, for Donnell McQueen. That move has totally paid off. Kitchen over the middle. Oh, no, it's intercepted off the tip. Jacksonville takes over. Oh, man. There were 2 defenders right there. Oh, there's one thing I have to do here. It's easier when I'm editing a video. I'm live right now, so it's tough. But imagine it just happened. The pass is tipped. And... uh-oh. Max Pierce with a game-changing INT. We have to watch now. 4-point lead, but for how much longer? Back to the air, throwing this one away. Six and a half to go in the Super Bowl. 32 yards out. Gold back to pass. Under pressure, he's dumped. It's Deshaun Dotson who came all the way around. That's our 6th sack of the day. We've done a really good job when they've crossed midfield. We've clamped down. 3rd and 17 now. Gold has time and dumps it off. And they'll get 4 yards. Very good recovery there for the defense. That is huge. But now just a 1-point game. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. This would be the perfect, just Ellis Norton, run us to victory, win the Super Bowl, and we'll continue on with the simulation. Here is Norton on the carry, and he is going nowhere. 8 rushes, 13 yards. Throwing this one quick and wide open is Colombo to move the chains. We're now inside 5 minutes. Absolutely, we had a blocked field goal in the 2nd quarter, and it is making a big difference right now. I'm not sure why, but at a certain point in franchise, obviously these textures on the field stop loading. Not a big deal. But that 1st down right there by Norton is his best carry today. Now closer to 4 minutes on the clock. Inside now, Norton with room, makes a move, and a pretty good hit there somehow delivered as he is down at the 45. Norton is tired now, but he's getting the carry once again and still breaks initial contact despite having low fatigue. You can tell when a running back is sitting there breathing heavily, that means their fatigue is down. They have to come off the field. On 3rd and 1, easy conversion on the right side for Leslie Anderson. We're inside 3 minutes. Two receivers, top of your screen with 2.5 minutes left to play. We'll go back to pass now, and Kitchen finds the open man, and that's a gain of 9. In some ways, the gain of 9 is almost preferred because all you have to do is get a yard. More time comes off the clock when it takes a little bit longer. I know when I'm like on defense in these situations, the last thing I want to see is a 9-yard pickup. I'd rather you get the first down rather than just an easy 2nd and short, and now more time comes off the clock, or a timeout has to be used. This is a really strong drive, though. We just have to protect the football. Jaguars down to 2 timeouts. Norton redirects, has room off right tackle, and moves the chains again. We are a step closer, everybody. And what a drive this has been for Norton. Very productive. He had like 14 yards coming into this drive. Now a first down would end the game. Norton's got it, running inside, and he's just still looking to run through everybody. Going spread here. It's a draw play. Norton is met in the backfield, and he's stopped for no gain. The Jaguars, out of timeouts, just have to watch the clock run down. We'll snap this one with a minute to go. A play that could decide the Super Bowl right here. Norton gets the carry, cuts to the right, and he moves the chains! That is going to do it, everybody! Man, he just knows where to take the football. That ball carrier vision is immaculate. We're a yard away from the end zone, but we can take a knee right here, everybody. That is ring number 6 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thank you, Ellis Norton. A close one, but we hang on, and it turns out I was able to build at least one more Super Bowl winner after all. I wasn't quite sure, but I felt like I had a good offseason last time, and sure enough, we had a really dominant year, our best in a long time. Norton is who we thought Adonis Askew would be. Yeah, I mean, I think we always thought that, okay, this next running back is going to be the one. And who ends up being the one? The man selected 6th round, pick 32, starting 3rd string on the depth chart, averaging less than 4 yards a carry on a few carries as a rookie. He's the one who breaks out to become the all-timer of the series. I just want to see who wins MVP. And in such a low-scoring game, I'm not honestly sure. I think it could be Sylvester Colombo. Norton is who we thought Jesse Reyes would be. Man. Super Bowl MVP is Jeffrey Kitchen. He had a couple touchdowns, 203 yards. Plus a very unfortunate interception that did not cost us. The Super Bowl record now in the series, I can check for sure, but I think we're like 6-5 or 6-6 or something. There you go, another Lombardi celebration. And the moves that got us here, I think, were the moves to get Banks and McQueen. 2 big free agent acquisitions. But we've built another championship, everybody. Beautiful. Love that. Now, no matter what, it's like a happy episode. When was Norton drafted? Like 2026 or something like that? I checked it out earlier in the series. I just Gronk spiked my controller. I did that. That was actually last year, I think. Because I thought I had lost the Cardinals series. After every year, we'll check out career stats because we know that somebody could retire and we won't be able to see their numbers again. I'm sure Ellis Norton can still go for a while as he looks to cement himself in the record books. 14,000 yards. Donnell McQueen, 5,500, coming off his best season easily. And defensively here for sacks, Banks has 81.5, Dean 66.5. 21 picks for Deshaun Dotson. Thank you for bringing the joy of Madden to my life. I enjoy watching all your videos. I appreciate that, Olander. Can we get the Browns rebuild music for nostalgia? Absolutely, Babs. Welcome back to the Cleveland Browns Madden 18 franchise rebuild, everybody. Anton Greenberry's coming off a great season, and we're looking to see if he can win another championship this year. That's pretty good, right? Here are the current career leaders right now in our league, with Mark Kiernan at 456 touchdowns, Cal Cooper 438, Ellis Norton 14,000 rushing yards ahead of Lynn Page, Diamond Hubbard 108 touchdowns, quite a bit. $136 sacks, wow. Quite a few have reached triple digits. It's not easy to do that. If you want to check out the career stats and these NFL records, it's hard to challenge a lot of these. I know the tough one is always Emmitt Smith's rushing, but Ezekiel Elliott is so good, he gets there. We do have the luxury, though, of watching Ellis Norton climb up the rankings. Even when he retires, his name will remain here in the record books. It's just all about where he ends up. I would imagine between Walter Payton and Saquon Barkley. It's so fun to look at these record books after so many years. To see Barkley and Zeke here, Todd Gurley and Joe Mixon. And of course, the legendary ageless Frank Gore. But like, seriously, Zeke broke all of Emmitt Smith's records here, and those are so hard to do. Jerry Rice's receiving yards, though, that's pretty ridiculous. And Madden doesn't really give you the numbers in simming to get there. Like, we just had McQueen get 1,300 yards, and that was a big deal. Oh yeah, where did Sparks end up here? Second in passing yards. He was number 1 in touchdowns. Can't forget about him. Yep, let's check out dev traits, and then we're on to the off season and simming to the next year. Offensively, McQueen did earn X Factor after all. Kincaid's up to an 80 overall. Norton is down to 85 overall right now, and I think still haven't experienced the regression quite yet. Massey has star. Hurst has superstar. Not a ton of change here, though. Oh, this is the off season. I forgot I'd already simmed, so I can't check regression, but I can check retirements. That good stuff. You gotta draft one more running back. The successor to Ellis Norton, maybe. Dwayne Schreiwick did retire, and so did Braden Pearson. So we lost a couple players. Dwayne Schreiwick, one of our big success stories. Tony Tyson. I drafted him 14 seasons ago. Carter Gilbert retires. Dominique Hadley. So many players that were on the team at one point. Damian Burgess. Wow. Maybe I'll make a draft pick at some point, but I don't think I will in this one. I want to sim to the draft and then see the draft recap screen. Yeah, three-way tie at 11 and 5, and we somehow came out on top. Went 5-1 in division. That helps. You letting Hadley go was a big mistake. It was. It really was. He had a terrific career with the Atlanta Falcons. At a time where we were constantly like looking for that next star receiver. And I was banking on Jamal Clancy for so long. What is the name of the intro music you used in Season 4 of the Jaguars series? That is probably from when I was using another library that I don't have access to anymore. That was before I really got into the YouTube audio library because I knew it would like always be there. My network at the time had access to a really good library and I was taking advantage of that. Alright, I just simmed through the offseason. I did not see the players that we had signed in free agency. Well, let's go to the transaction log and see what we decided to do. So we signed a few players here to small deals. 4-year deal here to Jake Hawkins. Oh, these were our draft picks. Let me see other players here. Oh, I can't go back far enough, apparently. But we began this draft with 2 linebackers, then a receiver, a tackle, and a quarterback in the 4th round. All right. Let's see if we got any good players here to help out the simming going forward. 65 overall, Mike Edmonds in the 1st. That's not the best pick. 65 overall, normal dev. Really bad reach here, but probably better playing edge rusher in our scheme. Freddie Eugene, 65 overall. Better off the ball than on the line, but not great. Ricky Styles, Chris Dunn. Oh man, this draft is not good. We are not getting much impact from this one. I should probably be slower next time in free agency so I can see where players go, so we can check stats and know where everybody is. All right, here's our roster now. What's changed since our Super Bowl winning season? Still got McQueen, Norton, Kitchen. Offensive line is intact. So the offense is in good shape. We tried to upgrade the defense, and those players will be lucky to get special team snaps. Otherwise, I think all our starters return. So very little drama from this offseason. And by the way, Ellis Norton is now down to 83 overall. Sadly, it looks like we have to start thinking about the next starting running back here. Or at least the game does. I'm no longer in control like I was before. Yeah, that was just an awful draft. Usually the CPU is like able to get at least 1 or 2 decent players, but not this time. So just as I guess a way to survey all of you watching here, how many of you would just like to see me in the near future go to a comparable series in Madden 21? That is true, Hitman. It was probably a weak draft, and picking at 32 is tough. Never easy. Most of you seem to want a new one there. What's the alternative if you don't? I think just more smaller stuff. Just, you know, weird rebuilds and stuff that might take me more weeks to months to complete and not like a long rebuild franchise. I'm gonna record some more head coach this weekend. I really want to get some good progress there so I can move on to the next thing. I am ready to end head coach, like, mentally, but I know I need to get some more stuff done before I can really wrap it up. Please do a Madden 21 series. Thank you, Rylan, for the super chat. Yeah, I really enjoy doing series like this format, everything about it. I know I'm going to be doing Super Mega Baseball here for a bit, but I do pause baseball content when the season ends, because I know, like, my baseball content has always, like, dropped in interest over the, like, winter months. And it's nice to not always be doing content that is year-round, I guess. I kind of like having some seasonal content where I'll make baseball for, like, 7 months or whatever. Because if I do Super Mega Baseball and never stop, a new rebuild and never stop, a dynasty and never stop, well, there's no room for new ideas to easily trickle in. We simmed to mid-season again. We're 5-2 to begin this season. No surprise given how similar the roster is to a year ago. So far, Kitchen putting up some really strong numbers, 19 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Ellis Norton's production is falling off a cliff. We are only seeing 3.4 yards per carry. Oh no, this is not fun. This is not what I wanted to see. Donnell McQueen is still destroying everybody though, and that's good. That makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah, Wheels, I have. I think it would work pretty well. I've watched some games on NCAA 14 in the same way to get kind of a feel of that, for that experience. I think it could be really interesting to do. Alright, let's go to the end of the year now. Oops. Let me save quick, just in case something weird happens. I know I have auto saves. Don't laugh at how many files I have. Yeah, I think an NCAA 14 style rebuild would be pretty cool. I think that the gameplay would hold up pretty well. I have to run just some more testing on it, because I'd probably go to default All-American there to mimic this and see how it plays. The main thing for me is, like, when I started out with the Browns series and I would watch some games, I'm like, wait a minute. This wasn't supposed to be playing this well. Sure, it's still got, you know, Madden flaws all over the place, but we're getting a watchable game of Madden. So then it became more than just like a weekend project. Yeah, Pee-wee. Appreciate the super chat. Every couple weeks I'll delete some files, and then I have new ones popping up too. Yeah, a mod in Madden 20 would be kind of cool. I know there are some cool things there. I played around with mods on Madden 19, and I know there's some good stuff on Madden 20, but I haven't really played with them in a while. I actually have a 1 terabyte in my PS4. I have for 5-6 years. I couldn't even play Madden 20. I just watched every franchise game. Yeah, I mean, it was a frustrating game for a while to get dialed in for me, but I think the watching experience, if you're a team builder and you don't mind that, I think that's where you're going to end up with the best gameplay. And at least the flaws in that case are equal. It's the most even playing field on the field. Your advantage will be as a team builder, of course. Omar, thank you for the super chat. Bring the Pac-12 back. I was just in the Pac-12 with Kalispell for a while, so I think my next project on NCAA would be somewhere different. Either Big 12, ACC, SEC, or smaller to start. Well, how does back-to-back 11-5 season sound? I should consider Hitman's idea. What was Hitman's idea? Did he leave it in a super chat or was it in a regular chat? How about a journeyman quarterback series where you demand a release every year? Not gonna lie, for a career mode, that's a dope idea. That is sweet. Kane, you need to stop streaming. You're distracting me from my college Zoom class. Well, I apologize. I guess I have to end the stream, guys. Alex needs to focus on his chemistry, or whatever it is. Chemistry is like a high school class. There's probably college chemistry, but whenever I think of chemistry, I think of high school. GG's, guys. We'll see you later. Oh, still just 5 trophies in the background? So we have found the capacity of that dresser or whatever that is in the back. It can hold 5 Lombardis, which is kind of weird because you thought it would make room for at least 6. Like Tom Brady has 6, why can't I have 6? But we have won 6 rings now, and here's a look at the overall coach stats to this point for J-Dub. He will have, of course, 6 Super Bowl championships, 4 Super Bowl losses. So 10 Super Bowls in the series total. Let's check out some numbers now. We had the #1 offense, but I don't think it had a lot to do with our running game this year. So we end up Jeffrey Kitchen getting 39 touchdowns and 6 picks. I'm happy he's taken a step forward because Ellis Norton is showing some age here, but his second half of the year was much better than his first. I think we're definitely happy with 4 yards a carry, 10 scores, and almost 1,200 yards. That's not too bad after all. McQueen ends up 13 touchdowns, 1,200 plus yards, and 95 catches, while Tremont Gardner actually broke out as our second most productive pass catcher. For defense, Anthony Banks gets 10 sacks, Dean gets 8, Staley gets 8. And it feels like Staley is developing pretty nicely, even if he's not earning a dev trait increase. For interceptions, 3 for Dorsett, Daniels, and Massey. Hey Kane, just an idea. If you do decide to do a franchise or a rebuild for 21, if you do an online league, it will transfer over to next gen. That is true. I just always get weird about the online franchise because I know if like my internet goes out or something, then I'm kind of just like screwed for a game. I like being offline. And yeah, the console generation switch does have me, trying to think about what exactly to do. But here's my thoughts. The new generation, there's no reason to think we're going to be on a new engine or anything too spectacular. I mean, the game runs on PS4, old specs, it runs on PC. Nothing special on PC. It looks better, it runs better, and that's what I imagine the experience is going to be on the PS5 and new Xbox, is basically the PC version ported over. And one thing to keep in mind, from my understanding, they're not charging from upgrading from this console generation to the next. Is that right? I'm pretty sure, isn't it if you buy like Madden 21 digital, you get the upgrade for the new consoles? I'm pretty sure that's free. And if it's free, there's probably not much value there besides just getting the game on the new console. If there were something big, you'd pay for it. At least $5-10. So I don't mind staying on PS4, honestly. I don't think it would be a big deal. I think that it's not going to be like Madden 25, last gen to current gen, where there was actually some fundamental differences. If you pre-order, you get a free upgrade? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't quote me on that. Check it out for yourself if you get the game, if you get a free upgrade. But if it's free, don't expect there to be much in terms of changes. There's already a PC version out that's more powerful than these new consoles, so expect the PC version. Anything more is an upgrade. Is bonus. The loading times... Yeah, I mean, Madden 21's a slower game. That is for sure. It's all stuff I gotta factor in and see how much I care about. Whoa, Rod Simmons got so much better. What was he, like a 75 before? Whoa, he's already like a superstar center. Let's have Agile catch up here. The AI and their archetype usage could use some work. That's pretty sweet. That's a lot of development there. Kane, you don't look a day over 24. Thank you, Zach. As soon as the hairline goes, though, it'll probably catch up with me. I feel like one day, I'm just... I think my hair's fine now. But I feel like one day, I'm gonna go bald. Voluntarily. As soon as, like, start getting any kind of hair issue, I think it's gonna be time to go bald. Hi, Kane. Hi, Ben. How you doing? Still gonna be doing stuff on the old Maddens, Fox. Yeah, the Madden 09 Creative Team series, that is still going to be a thing. And I'm probably going to start doing some stuff for it soon. I'm 21 and my hair's starting to go. I'm right there with you. I think at some point you just got to own it and stop trying to like watch these Just for Men commercials and say, I could figure this out. No, just buy a hat. Just for Men's more like gray hair. What is it, like Rogaine? Is Rogaine still a thing? Can you go to the store and get like a, what is it, a can? A can of Rogaine? I did actually buy 4 hats last night. See, you're prepared. When's the last time you wore a hat, Kane? Huh. Winter 2019. Otherwise, I don't wear hats. I do in winter. I did in winter. I don't think I did last year at all, because I was in Texas the whole time. Otherwise, couldn't tell you. Next Broncos video today. For the Cupcake franchise, Leon Daniels would actually be good enough to play. Maybe you'll see some players return. Maybe you'll see some familiar names. We'll see. No, I can't really grow facial hair. I'm reminded by that every couple of weeks when it starts growing in all weird and I gotta shave it. I'm going gray, gracefully. Well, you got a great attitude about it. How are you making a Broncos video sitting here with us? It's done. It's done. It'll be up later today after the stream is over. How old is Kane? I will be 28 in a week. Madden 21, same style as this series, and use the Steelers. Age and bad contracts have caught my team, for sure. The Steelers are a team that is on my radar, for sure. Thoughts on a long fantasy draft series? Possibly, Rylan, I think fantasy draft is fun, especially when you have a theme to it. I kind of like doing that. Oh, it's your birthday, Cat. Happy birthday to Cat for MVP. I hope you have a great birthday. Hope you get some fantastic food. And you can find something fun to do. I know it's not the easiest year to be looking for fun things to do for birthdays, vacations, or whatever. But I hope you figure out something. Have a good one. What's going on, Big C? Glad to see you here. So last season, we had Donnell McQueen win the Triple Crown at wide receiver. This year, he tied for touchdowns and was very close to number 1 in receptions. George Poyer actually wins that this year. But still another fantastic year for Donnell McQueen. Absolutely. Trading Clancy, bringing in McQueen has been the right move. But let's check out what Clancy is doing, because he had a pretty good season last year. He did not have 1,000 yards. How far do we have to scroll? All right, I give up. I'm going to Philly. Jamal Clancy, 607 yards, but he played in only 11 games, so I imagine he had a big injury at some point. That production isn't bad for 11. The efficiency, though, the yards per game were okay. The yards per reception was down. I still remember when you did the face reveal on Black Friday. Oh, man, those were the days. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that was almost 8 years ago. Long time ago. I'm old. I've been doing this forever. Colombo is now a Colt? I missed that. Maybe that's why Gardner got so much production this year. Sure enough, Sylvester Colombo left, and he's now on the Colts, and he was their leading receiver in all categories except catching this year. So, another player that, you know, got chances, but not the full chance, leaves, and then puts together his best season ever. This could be Dominique Hadley Part 2. MLB is considering a single elimination tournament with all 30 teams. Whatever happened to just like playoff series? I know they're going to be looking to do a bubble now, which I think makes a lot of sense. Eliminate some unnecessary travel when you're playing the same team for a week. Hopefully they mostly end up being neutral site games. I wonder what the numbers say right now, if there's even like home field advantage, or how impactful it is compared to most years. A baseball tournament would be sweet. I mean, baseball is a game about series. In season, post-season. The only like single game drama you get are in those game 7s or in the wild card. I think a baseball tournament would be awesome, because literally all 30 teams have a chance to win. With the nature baseball is, it would be so hard to predict. You could end up with like the Marlins and like Nationals in the first game, and the Marlins just could get, you know, a solid day together and win. Are we going back to the Super Bowl again? It sure looks like it. Now we get the Chargers this year. Wow, so we won the Super Bowl first year of the sim. Now, putting up a lot of points, we beat the Packers and the Vikings, and we're returning. Wow. Big day for Ellis Norton. At least one more big game left in him. That is incredible. Would you believe I'm going to 77 or not? You're going to be 77? Well, I wouldn't have predicted that. Yeah, the CPU doesn't need me. Maybe I was just in the way the 9 and 7 years. We're playing amazing now. I want to check out these yearly awards. MVP is Mason Hamilton. I thought maybe Kitchen had a chance this year. Alright, Jeffrey Kitchen, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive, Latuan Perriman. Another Rookie of the Year award to San Francisco. Kitchen is Best Quarterback. Randolph wins best running back again. McQueen, best receiver. Now I'm starting to wonder if I already checked that this year. Everything is so similar from the first year to this one. Now, just for time purposes, I kind of want to watch a little bit. It is the last episode. I'm simming this one to the fourth quarter. If we watch anything from it, it's only going to be the end, all right? This is already taking a lot of time to get through because we just keep winning and there's stuff to slow down for. But it's the finale. We're going to watch a little bit of this. I'm working on a walk-on dynasty, and man, the struggle is real. Yeah, you gotta enjoy pain a little bit if you're going to have fun with those. But they always looked fun ever since I watched Blackjack do his. I saw Sano have a 2-home run game in New Britain. That must have been a long time ago. Yeah, Sano's an interesting player. I wonder if the Twins, seeing how well they've developed other players, like Buxton and Sano were supposed to be the future. And then you have Kepler, Rosario, who I think are both better than those two and more valuable, arguably. Who they decide they're going to keep long-term, because they've already signed Kepler, already signed Polanco. I want them to keep Byron Buxton long-term. I think that as soon as his hitting gets more consistent, he has superstar potential. Right now, he's one of the most valuable defensive players in the game. And he's better than 99% of players that bat in the 8-9 spots in the league. The fact that they're so deep, they can afford to bat him that low in the order. And just like last week or a couple weeks ago, he got red hot and was hitting home runs like every day. With Sano, I wonder if he's a player they would ever look to trade for some pitching. I think they could afford it. I like Sano, but he's a very streaky hitter. What playbooks do I use? Vikings defense and a custom offense. Any plans to play some old 2K games? Possibly. I do have 2K5. I streamed it, I think, earlier this year. All right, everybody, we're back in the Super Bowl again. Now, we might watch something in the fourth quarter, but I just wanted to go through this again. We made it to another one. Maybe we're finding out that this team didn't need me. We won a Super Bowl as soon as I left, and we're back already after another 11-5 season. But the Chargers get off to a strong start, and we're headed in the wrong direction. We go 3-and-out. Short field here for the Chargers, getting a 12-yard gain, 14 more. Into the red zone. This is not looking good. This is a rough start for Tampa, everybody. It's 14-0. We gotta wake up. Do we have an answer ready? 3rd and 1. 13 to Galloway. Too many negative plays at that first quarter. And now a sack. This ain't good. Thankfully, I don't have a lot more stuff for content to work on today because this stream is going to run longer than I expected. But it's been fun. We are not doing much right in this game. We can't move the football, and that is a 23-yard touchdown. It is all Chargers so far, 21-0. Do we have a big comeback ready to go? We're moving the ball here. Points before halftime would be huge, but another 4th and 1 punt. Just keep it 21-0, no more. I actually do intend to do another series on All Pro Football. I talked about it a few months ago. It's been some time, but I'd love to revisit that game again. It's been a long time since I did a series on it. This is better. We're moving the ball in the second half, and we're going to start, it looks like, with points. But how many? Just 3. All right, can we get some stops? I don't care how we get them. 3rd and 6. Yes, that works for me. But we got to get touchdowns now. Come on. I want to see a classic comeback win here. But we just keep getting to 4th and 1. Yeah, it's very close to being 28-3, that's for sure. Better be careful scoring a touchdown, LA. Looks like they're going to get something on this drive, though, and as a matter of fact, it is 28-3 near the end of the 3rd quarter. Do we have any shot, though, of pulling off a Patriots-esque comeback? It's not looking likely. This is really disappointing. Oh, Tate Callaway is on their defense. He made a play. We converted 3rd and 21, though. All right. We can do this. Just get to the end zone or get picked off. I don't think there's a storybook ending for this one. How's it going, Kane? Not so good at the moment. We're about to get blown out here in the Super Bowl. Oh, they missed a field goal. That's okay. A 28-3 final. It's disappointing, but it's also coming off of a year where we won the Super Bowl. So that, you know, makes it feel a little bit better. But that is an ugly loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the Chargers celebrate. The Chargers themed confetti looks pretty good. And they wore the good uniforms here, so I'm not that mad. That was gross. Did the Twins and Tigers ever get underway today? I know there was rain earlier. Postponed. Wow. So their doubleheader is postponed. Does the MLB have a triple header protocol yet? Like 3 5-inning games? Luckily, they'll be playing the Tigers again eventually. They have time to make up divisional doubleheaders like that. Hey, found you through the San Diego Surf NBA franchise and have been wondering ever since. Any thoughts on what your next franchise on Madden will be? It could end up being a rebuild like this. I know a lot of people here in chat would prefer that I just do another rebuild on Madden 21 and start fresh with a brand new team. But I haven't thought about what my next move is. I think it's very likely I do a series like this on 21. It's just a matter of if I start it now or if I work on smaller stuff and then start it later on. I haven't really decided on that. Forgot to check out retirements. I'll do that. Yeah, I know a lot of people miss the surf. I just don't think after a while, I think it just kind of got fatiguing for me to not be delivering the experience I wanted from it. I enjoyed playing the game, but after a while, I mean, it was tough because it's not a game I play every day, but it was a game I had to get better at. So I was like, how do I get better playing a couple times a week sometimes? And then I was taking breaks in the series, and it was just so hard to get back into it and to even get where I was. Oh, wow. Tremont Gardner's gone, everybody. 4 years, $47 million. I thought we'd at least keep him in Tampa. Let's check out what we've done lately. Not much. We released Markel Daniels and Deshaun Dotson. No retirements for this year. Here are re-signings we did. Rodney Staley, I don't mind that. Kind of wish we had kept around Gardner, though. But I suppose, you know, Kincaid, McQueen. How are we going to pay another receiver big money? Face of the franchise. I've seen some gameplay. The cutscenes. No. I will not be playing face of the franchise. Unless I'm doing some sort of like meme video where I'm just messing around. Ahmad, thank you for the pair of super chats. What will they call Madden 25 when it comes? That's a great question. And I don't know. I could see them just calling it Madden 25 again, or Madden 2025. What do you guys think? Hey Kane, have you ever thought about going back to old Madden franchises and doing long-term sims for them? I haven't really, Dante. I could, but I feel that so much time has passed. Like, we don't even remember. We're not like in like right mindset to know what was going on in those series, so I don't think it would have the same power. But it's something I've thought about. Here were the top signings from free agency. We apparently only made one signing, and that was DeMarcus Mosley. So we must not have much cap space. Oh yeah, $330,000. You can't do a whole lot with that. Golf stream soon. Wheels. I think I'll do another one next week. I'm going to post the video that I made. I did chop up that stream. I'll post that one probably tomorrow, and I'll see how it does. But I think regardless, like, I'm having more fun playing PGA Tour right now than the new Madden. And I really like the PGA Tour game. I was playing it last night. I'm still, you know, trying to learn the game and get better at it. It's got a fun learning curve. And I really enjoy the change of pace. I really enjoy Default All Madden in 21. I tried it for the video I have coming to the channel today. That'll go live tonight. And I thought the gameplay was better. Definitely a lot better. All right, our first draft of the day did not go well. We didn't have any difference makers. This year, with no cap space, we at least got Evan Holman. We went right back to linebacker. We failed, but we came back and we got a hidden dev linebacker here. Evan Holman, 21-year-old from Miami with 84 speed, pretty good run stopping ratings, and hopefully the coverage gets better as well. We also got a 69 overall guard, Pierre Whittington, who will be at worst quality depth. I always wonder why some players enter the league with lower morale that affects their ratings. Never really understood that. Overall, it's not a great draft class, but at least we have a couple potential difference makers. Maybe one starter. New Denver episode today, Jackson. New Kalispell tomorrow. Two years after starting the simulation today, here's where we sit. It looks like Whittington could actually be starting this year. We drafted him to play. All right, then. At least Simmons is now our top-rated offensive lineman. Still have McQueen and Kincaid. Ellis Norton is dropped to 80 overall. Who's going to be our number 3 receiver, though? Ishmael Ware. He's going to get a chance, for sure. Will anybody break out this year for a team that's made it to the Super Bowl now 2 years running? I'm just going to help this team out a little bit, moving Holman to right outside, so hopefully he starts. Took Daniel's number, 56. Maybe this is the year I do draft a running back. We'll have to see. Let's sim this one just to the playoffs. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. That one dislike is so annoying. Yeah, somebody else disliked it, so we have 2. Oh, some of you are actually doing it. It's up to 5. Now it's at 11. 12 dislikes. All right, let's go back to liking the video now. Can we get back down to 1 dislike? We're doing an experiment here. We grew it from 1 to 17. Can we go from 17 to 1? We're down to 5. Oh, we're back up to 10. It's like a stock chart here. We're down to 7. Y'all are too much. We're up to 9. I don't know if we're getting back down to 1. We're down to 7 again. We're up to 10. Some of you are just happy disliking the video. That's funny. Caesar Butler or Larry Wilbur? Man. That one's tough. I think Wilbur might have been the better player, though. It is still engagement. I'm not even sure that YouTube views that negatively. We're down to 4 dislikes. Now it's more normal. I'm investing in dislikes. Anyone want to trade stock? Oh, that's funny. Does Seymour still have star development? Yes, he does. How's the married life? It's good, man. I like being married. It's not a whole lot different from the experience of being unmarried, honestly, but I don't know. I think it was fun making it more official, you know, government recognized for sure. Plus now I get to wear a ring every day. Which, by the way, I always thought that I wouldn't like it. But I guess I like accessories. Alright, almost to the end of the year. What series do you recommend new viewers to binge watch? I would say any one of my rebuilds. The Browns is where it all started, and there were some amazing storylines there. I refined the formula going forward in other series, but the Browns, I mean, if you want to see the origin of where I really started taking the direction of this channel, that's probably one I'd say. How tall am I? 7 feet. 5'10". How do I think the draft is going to work next year? Oh, I have no clue. Especially because a lot of these college football seasons could run really late, and that's a lot of wear and tear if you're going to be playing games potentially in spring and then turn around and do it again in fall. So I wonder if players want to play more of an abbreviated season or something, but I don't know. The logistics of everything this year and next year are going to be weird for sure. Well, unfortunately, we will not be returning to the Super Bowl this year. It was just an 8-8 season for Tampa Bay. But after 2 years of making the Super Bowl, it's not too much of a disappointment. But maybe we can figure out where the weaknesses lie. And I think our running game might be needing a new leader with Ellis Norton's regression. He's still a great player, but I think his best days are now behind him. Donnell McQueen puts up another outstanding season. Ishmael Ware gave us 550 yards on the year, not terrible. For sacks, Casey Dean, 8. Anthony Banks, 10.5. Not bad. Evan Holman, 2 interceptions as a rookie. If we check out league leaders, 40 touchdowns for Chris Stewart. How far has he come in this series? He's still just a 78, but he's putting up these numbers at 78. Tay Randolph led the league again. So he's going to have the running back of the year again. And he's already at 95 overall. The +2 is baked into that 97. So he's developing fast. Well, when you put up this production, of course. 8 on the ground for touchdowns, 8 in the air. That's wild. Only 4 years in. For receiving, Marco Henderson. Wow. How long has Henderson had this high of development? He's made 4 Pro Bowls. For some reason, I remember Henderson being a lot lower rated, and maybe he was. But the production's been pretty solid since year 2. I want to see how Colombo and Gardner did away from here. Colombo, over 1,000. And for Gardner, who I thought had a really high potential, over 1,000 for him as well. Please do a Titans franchise. Thank you, Garrett. I've had a lot of suggestions today for teams to pick. Unfortunately, I have to let a lot of fan bases down no matter what I do. What season is this in the sim? That was our 3rd year of the simming. And I think I have like 5 or 6 left. I think I'm glad I don't have like 12 to do today because we spent so much on the first 2 years. Been watching you since middle school. There are very few dedicated franchise YouTubers, and now I am a senior in college and still get the same excitement when you post. Thank you, Lewis. That means a lot that you've stuck around for so long, and many of you can say the same. Thank you. Super Bowl 79, huh? Bills and 49ers, a team that has been on the rise lately. Now, San Francisco has had, I think, 3 different Rookie of the Year winners in the last 2 years. Yes, 3 in 2 years. So if we check out their top players, there are a lot of young players here. Their best player is Jeremiah McDaniel, who's coming off his 2nd year. He has 2 years of experience. He already has almost 30 sacks. These are Boogie Turner numbers. This is how it's done, though. Roy Holt's already in 83. He's finished 2 years. A lot better job here than being the backup quarterback of Jeffrey Kitchen, that's for sure. I missed the super chat. I got it. No, I should be good. I answered Garrett's. I'm gonna pull up the menu quick. That keeps it all organized for me. In case I do miss. Cool. All good. What was I going to check now? I'm not sure if there's anything in particular. Maybe just the dev traits. Still seeing the same developments here across the board, but I know we're going to need some new players to step up, whether it's a receiver or a running back. I wonder what we do this offseason. Holman has superstar. He's already an 80. We love to see that. We have to upgrade at corner at some point for sure. Banks is now a 98. That's amazing. Hurst is an 89. He got X Factor. Hopefully Ballantyne's getting playing time because he's a 77. I'll move his position here. How old is Barry Roy? Right now, he is 31, so he'll be regressing a lot. I'm really interested in how the game handles that transition period when, like, McQueen is regressing, Roy is regressing, and we have already seen Norton regress. One more look here at career stats. Kitchen, 240 touchdowns. Norton at 16,000 yards now. McQueen, 8,000 yards. Over 100 sacks now for Anthony Banks. Beautiful. Hey, Kane, how's the scouting in the Broncos series? I actually start to show some of that in today's episode. There is not a custom class for this year, unfortunately. But we have a lot of custom class content in the series now, so we still have a lot of players to follow. Hopefully the class is at least decent, though, as far as putting talent in the league. Alright, I actually remembered to check out transactions on this screen. For retirements this year, Leo Decker, Deshaun Dotson. Anybody for us? Ellis Norton has retired, everybody. He regressed a little bit, but as long as he, he still ends up getting 1,000 yards in his last season. So he did regress, but not to a high degree. So F's in chat for Ellis Norton. What a career. He certainly put himself here into the record books. The 5th leading all-time rusher behind Ezekiel Elliott, Emmitt Smith, Saquon Barkley, and Walter Payton. I thought he'd play one more year, maybe, but did not need another year to create a pretty special legacy here. Second best running back, I'd say, on the channel, right up there with Perry Cummings. I hope we draft a running back this year. I wonder how far I have to go to see draft recap. Does it show it in the draft week? Or is it the off-season week prior? I can just see the recap for free agency. That's what I wanted. The free agency recap. Best 6th round pick of all your series? Probably true. Do a multiplayer rebuild? I think that would be really fun, Garrett. I think if I had to like compete with some other people in a rebuild, even if it weren't like a huge deal, the fact that I'd be competing with another user or users, that would be really sweet. I love that idea. And there are a lot of ways you could attack that too. You could do like a 1v1 with somebody, one person in the NFC, one person in the AFC, try to win a Super Bowl first. So this year in free agency, we made 2 signings and have $0 in cap space. So we used every dollar we could. Meanwhile, Gilbert Macklin is now with the Philadelphia Eagles at 81 overall. Tavares Springs is gone, and he went to the New Orleans Saints. Denzel Hakeem is obviously elsewhere now. A lot of change here, suddenly. Please draft a good running back. The problem is I haven't done the scouting myself. I might check this out. Will I make a draft pick? We'll see. I might be the running back GM. So we scouted 3 players, and they should not go this early. Yeah, I like Deontay Williams, but late 2nd round talent. Ooh. We know the 40's fast. We know the vision is good. I have no idea what they're going to do in this one. I'm actually going to sim the pick. We go Treo Mundy, safety from South Florida. 72 overall. I like that pick. But do I enter now? I'm back as GM for 5 minutes, so I can take Harvey Childs. Do we like him enough? I mean, the other combine stuff weren't that good, but the speed is there and the vision's there. It's just guessing at this point. Oh, man. Harvey Childs. Well, if not Childs, then who? Here's how the CPU scouted. I mean, early first round talent. Let's see if we can get him in the 3rd round. I gotta go Niles quick right here. I mean, he's the best player in the draft. So, I mean, I couldn't make a better pick. I'm trying to help the team again. I knew I should have never left as GM, but now will I be able to take a good running back? We'll have to check the ratings and see if that was a bad move if he's gone, and he is long gone. All right, I'm taking this running back here, Clayton Locke. Haven't scouted him, but I like the combine. 64 overall. No idea what we're going to do. But let's see what we could have done if I had taken that running back. It can't be an L because I took the #1 player in the class. No matter what happens, I took the best player. Period. No, not a big L. It's not even a small L. Niles Quick, Treo Mundy. Normal dev for Mundy. 87 speed. 78 zone coverage. 67 tackling. Kind of an average safety right now. Now, if he's like a hidden dev 75 overall running back, then it was an L. But I'm willing to bet he wasn't. Harvey Childs was a 65 overall running back, but he did have hidden development. So that's what could have been. And I think with this skill set on day 1, he could be pretty good. So I guess now we have another player to keep up with in this series, but will he really get playing time in Baltimore? That remains to be seen. Hidden dev in the mid-60s. Always catches me by surprise. The injury rating was pretty low for him, yeah. So here's where the roster is now. We're entering the 4th year of our sim today. Our running back is Kerry Reese. I hope he's ready. Can I sign a running back? Leslie Anderson? Might as well go with somebody younger if I can't make a huge difference there. Let's check out the trade block. Maybe I can come back for one more trade, but I can't take on much salary at all. Dominique Bonds, Chris Sheldon, Cassidy Duvall. Star dev in his 3rd year. What do we think of Cassidy Duvall? 90 speed, 86 break tackle. Some of these ratings are pretty good. Do we try to make a deal here? Who do we still have that we could trade here? Do you like Freddie Eugene? They do not. I don't think like a 4th round pick would get it done, so I think I have to do like a player trade here. 4th round pick is just not much. They could also use a strong safety. We could trade Ballantyne. They don't like him though. Where are we deep enough? Moving back to strong? Yeah, they might have more interest in that case. Good call. Can I not change him from this menu? That might work straight up though if I change him. That way Mundy can play as a rookie. Yeah, I mean the development, the speed power combination, that's what helped Norton get to the top of the mountain. Alright, let's see if this works here just straight up. Lawrence Ballantyne for Duval. Ah, they want to pick in there, even though the overall favors Ballantyne. Detroit knows how to negotiate trades, apparently, in the year 2046, whatever it is here, 2045. So I made a move to get us a new running back. We'll see how Cassidy Duval does. He has to take over for Ellis Norton, and that is no easy task. I want to make sure that gets fixed right there. Now that is a W. Agreed. I don't mind Locke getting some carries though, or somebody. Alright, let's sim that year and see how it goes. The game ends in 2048. Is it after the 2048 season then? So we have just a few seasons to sim. We'll make good time here. How about a Ja'Cory Day undrafted wide receiver career mode? He starts as a 60 overall return man, backup receiver, eventually progresses into starter and takes off like Marquise Walker. Yeah, if I ever wanted to do another career mode series, there are a lot of good candidates like him to play through careers with. I think I'm just waiting for, you know, the career mode to get better and more interesting. You know, it's never gripped me the way like Road to the Show has, where, you know, you really want to get in there and grind your way to the top. For the record right now, chat is calling Duval to be running back of the year. Multiple people are predicting that. Yeah, I know. In the NCAA games, the AI is really weird for play calling. They don't like calling man up 3 deep. So if you call like Hail Mary plays, they often don't have a good defense to defend it. Matt Pierre is one of the best series ever. It was. That one worked really well. I mean, running back's always been fun. Bouncing around different teams on there and trying to get behind all the other players too, because it started out as a Matt Pierre series, but then it was like, okay, this guy can't win. So we actually had to become invested in our quarterback and receivers, and eventually in London it all came together. I love playing those games because if it wasn't Matt making plays, it was still like Malcolm Maley making plays. There was another receiver too, I can't remember his name. And then Bishop Sankey right at quarterback, or Bishop Sankey. Was he the Titans running back? Sure was. What was his name? BJ Sankey. Bishop Sankey. Bishop Sankey's currently in the CFL. Plays for the Toronto Argonauts. Yeah, I remember there was a lot of hype with him coming out of Washington, but that didn't work out a whole lot. And then I know he suffered a bad injury. Adonis Hogan. Yeah, I mean, that team was so stacked. That was the greatest show on turf. Part 2. Like, really, I feel like that trio was just like, you know, Falk, Holt, and Bruce. No one will ever beat Marquise Walker's contract. Mahomes tried, and he failed. Mahomes only got to 500 million. But Marquise, 700 billion, he turned around, or 700 million, he turned around and bought the team. Almost done with this season sim. I model my rebuild after you. It's a fun format. I mean, I know franchise is not great in these Madden games, but I do want to show, you know, if you're going to play franchise, hopefully how to have fun with it. Well, it looks like we've missed the playoffs for a second straight season, going 8-8. Will we ever make it back to the postseason in this series? We'll see. Cassidy Duvall, we traded for him. He got some good development this season and put up 660 yards on 3.4 yards a carry. So not great production. He'll have to do a lot of developing. Obviously, under like 82 overall, it's tough for running backs to produce in this game. Oh, so Billy, when I did do like a sim to see what would happen with that contract, and nothing ended up happening. The game just kind of pretended it didn't exist, and it didn't glitch the game or do anything wrong. This year, Jeffrey Kitchen's touchdowns were way down at just 29. And that is down from years with him getting to 37, 39, and 34. So overall, the offense took a big step back in the scoring department. The running game wasn't too special. And now McQueen is under 1,000 yards again. Kincaid was our leader in all major categories, actually. I did not expect that at all. So that's not 2 years in a row we have missed the playoffs. Banks had 13 sacks. Ace Edwards at corner. 3 picks at 70 overall. Been watching for years and you only get better with time. Keep it up, my man. Thank you, Jared. Glad to see I'm not aging like milk over here. Chris Stewart led the league in passing this year, but not many over 4,000. Must be 2003 again. Tay Randolph, 99 overall. Wow, partial ACL tear. Wonder how long that's been affecting him. He only had 200 carries to get there. That's 6.5 a carry. Those are Zeke Elliott numbers. How many games did he play? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games. And now out for the postseason. Wow. For receiving leaders, there's Sylvester Colombo again. Another 1,000-yard season. Shamon Gardner, awfully close. Yeah, Tay Randolph is putting up the same stuff the Cowboys got with Zeke. Happened all the time. All right, career number update once again. Jeffrey Kitchen, 269. Cassidy Duvall at 1,500. McQueen, 9,000 yards in his career. And now 115.5 for Anthony Banks. Sure, we can check on Clancy. Really good all-time numbers here. This is solid. maybe no year that was like amazing. He's never been over 1,000 yards. Like, what's the most receiving yards a player has ever had without a 1,000-yard campaign? Appreciate you all being here today. It has been, so far, a 2.5-hour stream. Probably another half hour or so to wrap all this up. And then, like I said, a Broncos video is coming tonight, and a Madden 21 video is coming as well. This will be available as a VOD, probably tomorrow early afternoon. Oh yeah, we can change up the music. I don't mind. Should I go into my new folder called Golf? I'm glad I found this music before that stream, by the way. I liked it a lot for PGA Tour. The best PS3 franchise mode in Madden? Madden 12 is pretty solid. There are some things I don't like about it. The 09 era, though, I think had more fun scouting. They had actual scouting reports you would read. Yeah, I'm with Wheels there. I'd play either 09 or 12. Because in Madden 10, they began the system that was built over time to become what Madden 12 had. And Madden 12 just did it better. Another offseason getting underway, everybody. Do we have any development changes from last year? McQueen is at X Factor still. No change that I can see on defense or offense. While defense has seen Holman become a superstar X Factor, we do have Mundy at 75 overall, and we could really use a boost at corner. So I can't wait to see how we handle this offseason. Pretty sure no retirements for us. Yep. The golf music is fantastic. Yeah, I just went to the YouTube audio library and went and just filtered all the calm songs. And this one's called Whispering Stream. Sounds like ocean documentary music. I know. Yeah, it's called Whispering Stream. Let me save quick. We have not been busy in free agency. We must just be spending too much on our veterans to really have any options here. 90K in cap space. That means our drafts really have to count, and we haven't really had great drafts in the simming today. So it's no surprise that we started strong and then really struggled after a couple bad drafts, some key retirements, and regression. But this could be the year we turn it around. We still have a few years to sim yet here. Let's see how we did in, what, the 4th draft of the day? Well, 70 overall is decent. Jared Nortman from Boston College is our 1st round pick. The ratings are okay. He has normal dev. You like a little bit more out of a 1st round pick when it's at 15. We drafted Lyle Clark. I imagine he will play very fast. Hopefully he can develop a bit. And then Clay McBride at wide receiver. 88 speed, good deep route running, decent catching. I'm not sure this is a draft that's going to push us over the top, though. Yeah, why don't we check out the salary tab? That's a great suggestion. Where is the money on this team? Let's just go to total contract. $288 million for Jeffrey Kitchen. Now, obviously, I signed him to that massive extension. But look what's going to happen. Next year, the cap number drops. Big time. Because the salary cap, or the signing bonus, is spread over 5 years. But how about Donnell McQueen, who broke the bank here? $116 million contract. He just got this, by the way, I think. Maybe a year ago. So, huge money to McQueen. Massive cap numbers. 118 to a non-quarterback is a lot of money. Anthony Banks is still on a big contract for another year. Hurst. Kincaid got signed. Dorsett. Next year we have a chance to do a little bit more, I feel. Hey, we got the bad pick 6 music, Mike. It happened earlier, actually, when we were watching the Super Bowl. Is there any benefit for offline over cloud? I wouldn't say there's any benefits. It's just like I'm not tied to servers. So I always have this file. I can back it up. If it gets like corrupted, I can, you know, I just don't have to access servers to use it. Entering another year. Here is where we are at. Needing to see more from our ground game. Can we get this offense back to the top? The offensive line is not as good anymore, but we still have, you know, 4 out of 5 I think are pretty solid. Or at least 3 out of 5 are high quality. Defensively, I mean, Hurst is an X factor. Holman, Dorsett's good. I think this team is at least good enough to return to the playoffs. Move Dunn to guard. Let me take a look. Yeah, I wish the game would just kind of rebalance things a bit better. Who has become my favorite player in the Broncos series? That's a great question. Probably Miles Jack. Just because he's made so many plays in so many big spots, and he makes a huge difference whenever he plays. As far as players that I've drafted, probably Boogie then. Overall, my series I've done, I haven't drafted too many elite edge rushers or pass rushers in general. How many rings does J-Dub have? 6 in this series. Most career yards without a 1,000 yard season, Ricky Prohl. So Clancy is close. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't think of a single player I could compare, and Ricky Prohl played more before I really got into football. Queen of the Night music. I think Queen of the Night was a song I used from a library that I don't have the rights to any longer. But I liked that song a lot. Yeah, I haven't been able to use that one in a long time. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. My favorite all-time Buck in this series? Oh, man, probably Ellis Norton. The story for him is just so good at such a core position that we always pay attention to. How many years left? 2 or 3, I think. By the way, did Austin Prohl ever get signed? Because he was doing really well in the XFL. I know Cam Phillips just got signed, which took a lot longer than I thought would happen. He's still a free agent at 24 years old. I thought at least he'd get a look in camp somewhere. Madden gave Cam Phillips 82 speed last year. Oh my. That's low. Can I do an MVP baseball rebuild? I have to go pick up MVP 05. It's been a long time since I checked that game out. Classic. That game is so iconic. I feel like it would still hold up pretty well too. But who knows at this point. Oh yeah, Sylvester Seymour. Seymour might be my favorite, actually. Even over Norton. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate Madden 20? Honestly, like, every Madden for the last 15 years has been, like, a 6 for me, or something of that nature. Just, you know, a game that... You know, sometimes it makes some key improvements, but then it also takes steps back in other areas and remains stagnant in the areas I care about the most. So it's like, you know, 5 or 6 out of 10. I don't really do games on a out of 10 scale. I more so look at, like, how much time should you invest into a game and at what price is it a good buy. That's kind of how I look at games. Well, we missed the playoffs yet again, everybody, and we're running out of seasons here to Sims, so who knows if we've seen the last of our playoff days. We did go 9-7, which is a little bit better, but still pretty mediocre. Jeffrey Kitchen did bounce back with 35 touchdowns this year, and Cassidy Duvall gave us almost 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. Donnell McQueen returned to stardom with 1,200 yards and 14 scores. Kincaid's production fell as a result. Holman had 11 sacks here playing off-ball linebacker, apparently. Okay, then. Jared Nortman had 5.5 as a rookie. LaCambrick Massey, 4 interceptions. One more career stat update for you. Jeffrey Kitchen, 304 touchdowns. Duvall, 25. 10,000 yards now for Donnell McQueen. 25 picks for Massey, and Banks has 123 sacks. So the last year is the 2048 season, correct? So 2 more? Oh, Holman's already X Factor. He earned that one. Yeah, I'll have to check on Clancy. Hopefully he didn't retire yet. And yeah, we'll see what San Francisco's up to, because they were building a powerhouse. Some teams the CPU draft's awesome for. The Saints win the latest Super Bowl, but the team that seems to be in really good shape right now that we have been following is San Francisco. This season they went 9-6-1, just missing out on a playoff spot. But here's what they've done in recent years, which has just been really impressive. Jeremiah McDaniels only in his 4th year. He's already an X Factor. Almost the best player on defense in the entire game. 99 finesse moves. He's put up ridiculous sack numbers in his first 2 years, and still been solid here since then. Brian Bacon at right tackle, Montrell Abbott at running back, but Roy Holt is the quarterback that I tried to select in my last offseason I did, and make him our backup. Now, I'm not sure what's happened these last couple of years, but haven't seen big production here in a couple seasons. Maybe he spent some time hurt this year. Oh yeah, let's check out McDaniel's contract. So they gave McDaniel a big one here. 5 years, $112 million or so. Pretty good money. Let's see if Clancy is still under 1,000 again. The chat pointed out to me that Ricky Prohl has the most yards of any receiver without a 1,000-yard campaign. I wonder if he ended up retiring. I feel like it would have been a little too early. I don't see him anywhere. Colombo's production was way down. Maybe he did retire. Yeah, let's go career yards. But it's very possible that he called it a career. Yeah, I think he did retire. He's not here any longer. So unfortunately, I did not see his numbers for his very last season. There actually might be a way. Isn't there still a way I can see it? Maybe there isn't, but... Let's see, what would his legacy be? It'd be pretty high, right? Let me slow this down a little bit. Where is Jamal Clancy? There's a lot of scrolling here I can do, but he had to have had some legacy score, right? Can I sort by name? That's smart. Just got to get to the J's. He's gone. Nowhere to be seen here. Wait, I don't see him here on the retirement screen either. This is really weird. I have no idea where Clancy went. The game just like erased him or something. Can't find him anywhere. Yeah, I know. I wish they just kept all those records. I mean, I don't know if eventually it would really bog the mode down if you had like hundreds of players with stats kept. If it would be hard to store all that information. That's really strange. I don't think he'd be like a 62. He still had pretty good ratings from what I saw. Well, did we do anything in this free agency? We signed 2 players, Malcolm Tanner at tight end, Gary Richmond at defensive tackle. We have 48 million cap space though. What are we doing letting Anthony Banks leave to Tennessee? Who's running this team now? This is horrible. Use your cap space. Jamal Clancy, are you here somewhere? Casey Dean's gone too? I must have missed that. Where'd he go? Please say we had a decent draft at least. Jarius Moore. That is a solid first round pick at 75 overall with hidden dev. So we lost Banks and Casey Dean apparently. So at least we drafted a good defensive tackle with really good ratings. But that's not easy to replace superstar players. Just a couple more years. Yeah, this CPU has definitely messed some stuff up. I believe this is our second to last season. We still have some really good players and a hidden dev receiver at 60 overall. Sheldon Green. Not much time to develop him here though, with just 2 seasons left of franchise mode. No Barry Roy either? We have cap space. Why did we not use it? How has the CPU ruined the team? Mostly just like terrible drafting and now not using our cap space to keep good players around. What did I miss after the first Super Bowl? Well, we lost the next Super Bowl, and then we've missed the playoffs every year since with, like, mediocre, middle-of-the-road records. Some bad decisions by the CPU GM. I kind of think it ends after this season. We'll see. Either way, we're almost done. Kane, you okay? I'm doing just fine right now. It's been a fun stream though, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. It was fun. I like wrapping up a series like this. Do the last off season so the team can contend the last year. If I get one more off season, I might offer to like a couple free agents, but I still want to try getting this wrapped up soon, mostly for time purposes and just to wrap it up because there ain't a whole lot of time. Starting to get hungry. I started watching at like episode 48 and kept up ever since. Been a great ride. Appreciate that. Yep, Broncos dropping after the stream. And another video coming to this channel a little bit later. Taking a little while to sim now. So I guess my next step is going to be figuring out what's immediately coming to the channel next. So this weekend I'll be brainstorming and hopefully come to a conclusion here soon if I'm going to do another series like this or if I want to do something smaller in the meantime. I've seen a few people talk about the Lance Adams Road to Glory possibilities. I know I really should do a long-term sim for the Twins franchise. I never got around to it like I should have 6 months ago. Probably not too late to just do it. Oh, you found me through that voiceover I did for Not the Expert? Yeah, that was fun. It's fun to do collabs like that. There are a lot of different ways you can collaborate, I think, in these sports videos. That was neat. I think I'm pretty much done with Backbreaker. I got my fill of the game, and I was ready to move on at that point. We're back in the postseason, everybody! I don't think anybody expected that. After a 10-6 year, we win the division again. Okay, maybe we have another shot at a ring. 39 scores here for Jeffrey Kitchen. Cassidy Duvall, 4 touchdowns. Our running game is not very good right now at all. But we can throw. Especially to Donnell McQueen. He has had an amazing final episode for us. Randy Dorsett, 2 sacks. 8 for Evan Holman. More career stats here. Jeffrey Kitchen now over 40,000 yards. Cassidy Duvall, decent numbers, nothing too great. Donnell McQueen, though, 822 catches. Very big numbers for him. If you win another Super Bowl, you have to do a Titans rebuild. Garrett, thank you for the super chat and the suggestion. Wow, our defense wasn't that great this year. Or maybe they were. We were bad at yardage, but good at points. And I'll take that, I guess. All right, let's sim this postseason run and see if maybe we have one more ring. Let's close on a good note. We won the first round. All right. Now we just got to get to the Super Bowl. Or actually, I think this is the second round. We won again. All right. Are we going to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in this episode, everybody? We are not. We lost by 3. Oh, man. We made it further than I thought we would, though. I kind of felt like this was going to be another bad season. How would doing a Chargers franchise be a good idea? Yeah, absolutely. I think they're one of the better teams you could consider, but you're also up against the Chiefs twice a year, which is always, fun from a competition standpoint. I think those other teams, Denver could be really good as the years pass in franchise. And I think with them, do you like Herbert enough to develop him? And can you maximize what that team has with some of their star talent now, like veterans, Melvin Ingram, Casey Hayward, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams? You still got some years, I think, to figure it out, but you don't have forever with that core, that specific core. Better opposing quarterback, Kevin Fox or Bryson Anthony? Probably Anthony, but it's been a while since I thought about those games. Anthony was always tough, though. That Bears team was really good. Did we do anything this year in free agency? Lawrence Tharp, cornerback, 89 overall. That is definitely something right there. I like that move. Also, do you like real draft classes or auto-generated ones? I'm thinking about using auto-generated for the first time. You know, I think they both have their perks. Like, obviously, with the real ones, they're hand-built. They're usually better. But, I mean, when you have the potential to do a series or a franchise, and you can have, like, your own universe, your own stars, to me, that's always, like, been a huge plus. The generated classes are certainly doable. They aren't as good as I'd like them to be, but I don't think there's anything wrong with using them, and obviously I use them for a lot of what I do. Alright, that might have been our last draft we just did here. What happened? We did not take a player over 67 overall. Our first pick was Lance Fenton. It seems every draft we're just like going at the same spots on defense, trying to figure out solutions there. Weird drafts. I'm very underwhelmed by the GM that took over for me. A Rams franchise in Madden 21? Absolutely. Part of that is because you're in a situation where Jared Goff is on a very big contract, Aaron Donald's on a very big contract, and that means, you know, your cap situation elsewhere is a lot more tough. And now there's a lot more rebuilding necessary on that team with the loss of Brandon Cooks, Todd Gurley, and the defense ain't quite what it once was either. All right, going into the last season here, this is what the team looks like. I think overall, we have a shot to go back to the postseason, but we'll see if we can put together a solid finish here to this series. Evan Holman now a 92 overall, the top rated player on the defense. Let's go get some wins. A Panther franchise for Madden 21, me and Teddy. I've done a project with the Panthers before. It was a while ago, so I'd probably go with a different team. But I think the Panthers are one of the best teams you could pick this year. At a certain point, Shane, I'm just not able to sim any longer. Like, the franchise mode does have a cap. It's 30 years. Yeah, I'm thinking more about that cupcake rebuild, that created team cupcake deal. I just want to get that all set up. I've done a series with the Bears before. I don't mind using my, you know, rival teams in real life. I've done some really small stuff before with the Lions before, but I don't think anything that really got completed. If I did a 10-year sim in 29, if it would break, I think it would just take you to the end, regardless. Any of you got games you're looking forward to this fall? Anything else on the way? I can't believe September is about to hit, man. What a weird summer. I thought Cyberpunk got delayed till next year. Was that another game I'm thinking of? Or it's still November 19th. Yeah, for sure. That's what I'll be looking forward to. Fall Guys Season 2. I have played Fall Guys a couple times. The new Halo, I'd like to see what they could do. I'd love to see Halo become like a really major shooter again with a lot of attention on it. Man, gaming was so fun when Halo was on top of the world. It sucks to see what's become of Halo. I was never like a huge Halo fan. I loved Halo 3, but I wish that game still had the huge competitive following and was still like the shooter. Halo Infinite got delayed? Oh man, I didn't know about that. How was Ghost of Tsushima? I saw a lot of people really liking that game. And is there anything you could compare it to? Because I haven't watched a lot of gameplay or anything. Planned to be released in 2021. Maybe that's what I thought when I thought that Cyberpunk was delayed. A new article is out today saying that now it looks like Halo is looking at end of 2021, not even the beginning. Well, we do make it to the postseason at least one more time, everybody. 9-7 isn't great, but it's good enough. Here's what we put together now. 40 scores for Jeffrey Kitchen. He's putting up massive numbers. Cassidy Duvall's over 1,000 yards. Kincaid and McQueen over 1,000 each. Love it. Tanner had 12 touchdowns too. 10 sacks here for Jarius Moore. I don't really know who Jarius Moore is, but apparently we made a big move and got him, but he's not going to play here in the postseason. He's hurt. Open World Samurai game. Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime. I've been playing mostly games on Switch when I get a chance afterwards. Is Jarius Moore the draft pick from a couple years ago? Okay. That's who Jarius Moore is. So he's come a long way, but unfortunately he won't be active for our Super Bowl run. Hopeful Super Bowl run. But let's check out our career stats now. The last time we can really do it. Jeffrey Kitchen, 383 touchdowns in his career. That has turned out to be pretty solid. He played some really good seasons today in the simulation without really any bad years. This one was a bit down, but not even bad. Not much here for rushing without Ellis Norton. Receiving, Donnell McQueen, 12,500 yards. 28 interceptions there for Tharp. Staley, 46 sacks. Let's go around the league. George Marshall, almost 50,000 yards. Stephon Westbrooks, 10,260 rushing yards. Tay Randolph, 10,007 years. Donnell McQueen, active leading receiver. Alex Conrad, 1,167 receptions. He'll be ranked in the record books when we check that out. Cooper Ryan, 162. All right. All that's left now is to go and get us to the Super Bowl. Let's just sim right to the Super Bowl and see if we're there. I have all this stuff for auto, yeah. The CPU's handling every move. Come on. We do not make it to the Super Bowl in our final season. We did win the division, but it looks like our time with the Bucs has come to an end. We lost the NFC Championship. Wow, we were that close to finishing it off in the Super Bowl. Still an outstanding run. Can I check the records afterwards and no one will be missing? Yeah, the records will be fine. That's what I want to check. Let's sim to the off season. And just like that, everybody, we have reached the end of franchise mode. Oh, man, there's no more we can do. You can retire Coach J.W. Unger, and that is it. There's your finale. That's how it all ends. Washington wins the Super Bowl here at the end. Josh Chatham, 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. They get it done. Tramon Gardner goes out a champion at least. Tramon Gardner gets a ring. And Sylvester Colombo was in the game too. So it was a Super Bowl between receivers we didn't sign. We can still check out the record books and the legacy leaderboards. Let's start with legacy. J.W. Unger, 6 Super Bowls, 25,000 legacy, a tremendous 30-year run, everybody. Thank you all for being part of it. For everybody, Tom Brady still has the most legacy. Myles Garrett, Zeke Elliott, Sylvester Seymour. And plenty of big names from this series, such as Tyrus Sparks, Robert Cush, and if we check out the record books here, Tyrus Sparks, 2nd all-time in passing yardage. A few more quarterbacks cracked the top 10, like Mark Kiernan and Cal Cooper. For passing touchdowns, that belongs to Tyrus Sparks. Raphael Hodge was pretty high, though. Zeke Elliott, 20,000 yards, topping Emmitt Smith. Ellis Norton was up there, though. Rushing touchdowns, that's also Zeke, with Norton coming in 4th place. Receiving yards, Jerry Rice. Good luck ever topping that. Receiving touchdowns, also Jerry Rice. Gabe Ventura, though, was able to make the top 10. Catches, another one belonging to Jerry Rice. But Alex Conrad finishes 5th all-time. Would not expect that. Sacks, still Bruce Smith and Myles Garrett tied at 200. Seymour was up there at 157 with Von Miller. For interceptions, Paul Krause. And there are your records, everybody. It looks like that is it for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Madden 20 franchise rebuild. A fantastic series. I really enjoyed everything start to finish once again. For some reason, I can't see J-Dub's numbers here. So I can't see the career stats for him. He actually disappeared from the coach pool even? That is strange. Oh well, we already know the story at this point. That was a great run, everybody. With that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise rebuild has come to an end. We've gone all the way through franchise mode. And now we look ahead to whatever is next. You can leave your feedback below on what you want to see. But I will have some new ideas and some new stuff coming your way soon. So thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and have a great day, everybody. That's where I'll end the video and everything. And I'll be ending the stream as well. Thank you, Garrett. Titans rebuild. I know you want to see the Titans rebuild. I can't make any promises here as far as what teams I'm going to be using on anything upcoming. But I will be looking for some new stuff. And I could press retire, sure. I'm just going to save it here quick. If you want to see what happens when you hit retire, coach. You get this little menu here. No option to create a new character. We can retire. And I think it kicks you out of franchise mode. I think it brings you to the main menu. Yep. That's all it does. Well, guys, we beat franchise mode. We'll see what's next very soon. Thank you for all your support, all the super chats, just hanging out with me, having a good time today for these few hours. Great series. On to the next one. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you all again soon.